Hello and welcome to this episode of Ask the Expert. My name is Robert and I'm part of the Smart Factory Consulting team here at TRUMPF. Dominic, my colleague of the Smart Factory Consulting team, has explained to you in the last video what the Smart Factory Consulting is and how we can support you and your colleagues. After the video was launched, we got quite a couple of questions from you, and the question that came up quite often was, how can you improve the process productivity of your sheet metal processes within your factory? And therefore, today I'm going to give you some ideas on how to approach this challenge. We from the Smart Factory Consulting team approach this task in 3 main steps. So let's take a look at this phase model. The first step is that you create transparency over your process productivity. But how can you do so? Well, the most important step is to get started at all. Therefore, you might start with an easy template like this. Here you can mark whether a machine or a workplace is productive or not. In this case, we have the TruLaser 3030 and the TruBend 5170. You can also mark whether the machine was not productive. If it's not productive, you can also mark whether this was caused because of material handling, of a malfunction on the machine, or because the worker was absent. Step 2 is to identify the most important disturbing factors why a machine was not productive. You might identify those topics together with your colleagues on the shop floor. We have also performed a measure like this and derived some pie charts from the multi-moment study. Here we can see that 20% of the time of the TruLaser 3030, the machine was standing still because of material handling. You might think about some extra logistic capacity, or think about product carriers which make the transport from one step to another easier. On the TruBend side, we see that 24% of the entire production time the machine was standing still because of programming on the machine control unit. Here you might think about a transfer from online programming on the machine control towards offline programming on TruTop's Boost, for example. In the third step, it's very important that you perform the measures that you have defined in step 2 properly. You might think, okay, this is a different way of working, and it might take some time to get used to this new format. But our experience shows that your endurance starts to pay off after a couple of months. And by performing your continuous improvement, you will even rise the productivity of your processes more. I hope this gave you a little insight on how we from the Smart Factory Consulting team deal with the challenge of increasing the productivity of your processes. So now I'm interested in getting to know you and your experiences, how you have increased the productivity of your processes. So either drop us a comment below this video or write us an email. I look forward to hear from you and talk to you soon.